First thing that I want to say before we get started on this week's Spelljammer video is I want to thank one of my contributors for correcting my pronunciation on the bionoids from the last video. Today we're going to look at another creature from the Spelljammer setting. Yes, we're still on bees. Blazozoid. The Blazozoid is a sort of creature that lives in wild space. They resemble a huge white Elamarin or small comets of creamy white flame. Their spherical bodies consist of fiery plasma, and they often drag a tail of blue fire behind them while travelling at Spelljammer speed, so quite fast. Blazozoids are sentient balls of living energy with the ability to communicate telepathically, so they'll talk to you with their mind. Woo! They are always encountered in wild space, never on planets, and never in the phlogiston. Their fiery bodies are so hot that they burn up anything that they come into contact with. In addition, their superheated bodies ignite any phlogiston within 100 feet of them, so that's why they don't go out there, because they'll just start a massive chain reaction. Should a Blazozoid be foolish enough to expose itself, the resulting explosion vaporizes everything within a mile. Wow, it's like a nuke. Including the Blazozoid. Affected characters must roll successfully versus a dragon breath. That seems rather underpowered for it basically being a nuke. Okay, I would up the damage on that. But again, we were talking about 2nd edition, so hit points were different. Blazozoids always or usually ignore passing Spelljammer ships unless bothered in some way. However, Blazozoids do approach ships when they want one of two things: a ride through the phlogiston or a meal. If the party refuses, then it will attack you. Just give it a goddamn lift. Blazozoids attack by ramming themselves into the target, either an individual on the deck or at the entire ship itself. Initial impact causes 8d6 damage, but this is again a 2nd edition. The Blazozoid then remains in contact with the target using its fire touch to consume it. Again, it mentions use saving throws versus dragon breath weapons, and then it grapples you apparently. And you must roll a dexterity attack. Blazozoids are immune to fire. Oh well, yes, that's taken for granted. Whether magical or normal. In addition, any weapon that strikes it and fails a saving throw versus normal fire is destroyed, so you can destroy weapons. That's pretty good. I think I would just give him the weapon destruction spell now. Weapons with a bonus of +3 or more are immune to this effect. Cold and water-based attacks have normal effects on Blazozoids. Blazozoids are children of a huge living star. Themselves are a star of living energy. Unfortunately, this star refers to itself as I. It does not recognize material beings as alive, much less as intelligent. Therefore, it believes itself to be the only sentient being in the universe. To determine whether it's true, I has formed millions of emissaries from its own body and dispatched them to find another living star. The Blazozoids are these emissaries. Although intelligent, they are completely incapable of basic beliefs that their parent imprinted upon them. Therefore, they don't believe that the material beings such as the PCs are truly intelligent. They view all beings as food sources, or at best, a means of transportation across the phlogiston. Blazozoids cannot reproduce and must be recreated from the I's body. They eat or refuel by turning matter into energy. Since their bodies are made of energy, a well-filled Blazozoid can be as much as 60 foot across. While some are less than 10 feet across. A starving Blazozoid also has a slight yellow tinge to its body. And flame. When encountering it in the depths of wild space, i.e. close to a crystal sphere, a Blazozoid is sure to want something from a passing ship. It's sure to want either the crew to eat, or something to eat, or to convince it to take it across the phlogiston. Often the Blazozoid will agree to perform a servicing for its passage. However, if some provision is not made for feeding it, it will just attack people during the journey, which is really stupid, because if the ship has no crew, then it's going to be stuck. The Blazozoid must be kept in a flameproof container, such as iron, stone, or force. Simply stowing them below decks will have disastrous effects on the ship when it enters the Plodgison. This is of course from the MC7 Monstrous Compendium Spelljammer Appendix. Okay, so we have a sentient comet or mini star that views everything as either food or passage, created from a being known as I. So we will look at I. I is a creature from the Spelljammer setting that is a sentient star made of living energy. It believes it's the only thing in the universe, as I've said. It does not recognise humans or any other being as intelligent, and created the Blazozoids as emissaries for living stars. So again, so we only have the information for I, or the intelligent star, that the Blazozoids contain in their listing, which is a bit sad because I was hoping that we would have a bit more information about him. Or her, or it. It does say that they're very intelligent and they're chaotic neutral. This is really weird because they're not chaotic neutral, they're chaotic evil, because they do what they want when they want. If they want a passage, they'll agree to not eat you while they're not hungry. If they're hungry, they will eat you. They're chaotic evil. Second edition had some very loose ideas of what chaotic evil and chaotic neutral was. So their fire touch ability. Their fire touch ability is basically an automatic attack that I've seen some people say that it hits automatically. I've seen some people say that you can dodge it if your dexterity is high enough. Also, it mentions the dragon attack again, which is stupid because I would not give something that can basically nuke an entire sector if it explodes such a weak attack. Remember, Spelljammer, you're operating at things much larger than normal battles and normal encounters. You're operating on threats and abilities that are closer to gargantuan dragon size and up to maybe and even beyond our old friend the Tarask. So you have to be prepared to probably up the power of the Blazozoids considerably if you want to use them now, if you are going to run a Spelljammer campaign. Saying all this, they are interesting and they are worthy of including now and again as maybe a spanner in the works. Will they be helpful? Will they not be helpful? They might get hungry halfway during the trip. Are they going to eat you? They're an interesting thing to put forward and either a temporary ally or a recurring annoyance for Spelljammer trouble. So there we go. They're Blazozoids. Or however, I'm sure that one of the kind viewers will correct me on my pronunciation, and I'm very thankful that you do. Do take care of yourselves, and happy gaming.